Hey everybody, what's going on? Let's talk about my favorite gear of 2021. But before we get into this video, please make sure you sub to the channel so you can get all this cool content that I put out. I do a lot of videos like this. I do a lot of trip videos, hiking, camping, backpacking, and even gear discussions, gear reviews, and giveaways, which I'm going to talk about here in a little bit, but you got to stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 7 items that I really enjoyed over the year 2021. I use these items pretty much on every trip and still love them, love them, love them. They are just, these are my favorite items. Okay, so one item that I really loved over 2021 and used a lot was my Melanzana hoodie. Now I know this is a controversial item. I know a lot of people get angry over these because they're hard to get. And you know, I was fortunate that I got to go to Colorado and pick one up. I also won a lottery online where I was able to pick another one up. So I have 2 Mellies. So instead of just saying Melanzana hoodie, for this one I'm going to say Microgrid hoodie. My Microgrid fleece hoodie, which shall remain nameless, was one of my favorite items for 2021. This thing was fantastic. They're super warm. They just keep you like cocooned in warmth. They're amazing. But they also, the Microgrid kind of lets air through, so it kind of takes the stink away and it kind of refreshes you, doesn't let you overheat. There's just so many nice things to like about these Microgrid hoodies. Love mine. I wore it to sleep in. I wore it to hang out at camp in. I took it with me in the summer. Pretty much a year-round thing that goes with me now on backpacking trips. So my Microgrid hoodie from that company. Okay, the next item that I really loved over 2021 was this little guy right here. The BRS stove, the titanium canister stove. Now, this is not a new item. This isn't new to the market. You know, a lot of people have been using these for a very long time. I just never had one. I was using MSR pocket rockets and a couple other different brand stoves for a while. And then I finally decided, well, why not just spend the 15 bucks and pick one of these up? So I did. And so I'm really glad I did. It's a fantastic little stove, super light, weighs like nothing, and really cool. It's not the best quality in the world. It's a little flimsy, especially when you fold the legs in like that. But once you get the legs locked in place, they're super sturdy. It holds things pretty well. I never had any problem with it falling over or any pots falling off of it or anything like that. One thing I will say I did have a problem with though was in super high wind, it didn't perform the best. I noticed the flame kind of got shot down. It took a little bit longer to boil. So boil time, I'd say is not as comparable as say the MSR, the Pocket Rocket series. Those seem to boil water a lot faster. They kept a more consistent flame. But when it comes to weight, and if you're trying to go super ultralight in the middle of the summer, and you know, if you don't care how long it takes to boil your water or whatever, then this is a perfect piece of gear to have along. So I do recommend it. Just be aware of some of those little nitpick things that I had. Okay, the next item is an item I picked up towards the end of 2021. It's the Nemo Fillo Elite pillow. I did a whole video where I talked about this, so I'm not going to go in depth about the pillow itself, but I will say this ended up being a really cool item on my list, and I really enjoyed using it. I did quite a bit of ground sleeping towards the later end of 2021. Just kept taking my tent out for whatever reason, and you know, I had to have a pillow to sleep in on the ground, and this was recommended to me by a buddy, and I'm glad he recommended this because the Nemo Fillo Elite pillow, it's small, it weighs 3 ounces. This is how small it compacts down to. Fantastic pillow. If you want to watch that full video I did, I linked it up top, so you can check out my full thoughts on the Nemo Fillo Elite. But yeah, definitely recommend that. The next item on my list is something that I fell in love with over 2021, and that is the Hilltop's fanny pack right here. It's the DCF, Dyneema Composite Fiber version. Awesome piece of gear, just awesome. Super light, weighs hardly anything. water resistant, and holds quite a bit of gear. I love that it has a snap on top and then it has a roll closure. Fantastic piece of gear. I kept this on my waist belt pretty much every hiking trip I did this year. It's great for keeping stuff in that you need to get access to immediately, snacks, gear, whatever. I also had it as an emergency in the case I needed to, if I got caught in a downpour, I could put my camera in there really fast and keep it dry. I usually keep my camera on a Peak Design clip on my shoulder strap, but if I got caught in some kind of a terrible rain or something, this was a perfect place to stash my camera until that rain passed over. So I would say all the gear from Hilltop Packs is just top notch. I have so much gear from them, and man, I just love everything that I get from Hilltops. Ben is an awesome guy, and the gear he makes is just so sweet. Go support this company. Go support Hilltop Packs. They are amazing. Can't recommend this Fanny enough. It's fantastic. Another piece of favorite gear from 2021 are kind of a niche item, but man, these ended up being one of my absolute go-to pieces of gear. And these are my Save Our Souls socks, or SOS socks. These are the Melanzana branded socks. This is a little company out of Boulder, Colorado, and I was so glad to hear that they made it through the fires with no apparent issues, last I heard. So that is fantastic. But these are wool socks, hand knit over there in Colorado, made in USA. They are just amazing. They're just super comfy, and I have worn these miles and miles and miles, and they don't even have any signs of any wear whatsoever. Just really well crafted and super comfortable, and they dry like immediately. I got my feet wet with these and they were dry within a few minutes. So love these merino wool socks, and I love the price point of these. These are, I guess the other comparison would be Darn Tough socks, as the other people you would compare them to. But these are cheaper than Darn Tough socks by a lot, almost half, I'd say. So, same kind of great quality and everything, but not nearly the price. I guess the only bad thing I would say about them is they don't have that warranty that Darn Tough has. So Darn Tough has that lifetime warranty. So if you wear a hole in one of their socks, you send it back and they replace it. And I don't think this company has that. So that's kind of a trade-off, I guess, that you make, is you pay a little bit less without the warranty or whatever. But I love it, and I love these designs that they have. They have multiple different designs. These are Melanzana branded, and I only became aware of it when I was ordering something from Melanzana. But they're Melanzana branded, but you can get Colorado branded. You can get, I think, pretty much any state or whatever that you want. You can request custom designs on your socks. So they're cool. They make ski socks, hiking socks, snowboarding, running, all different kinds of cool outdoor socks. But yeah, Save Our Souls, man. I'm sad I only have one pair of these right now. I'd like to have about 10 more pairs of these to hike in this year. So yeah, fantastic company and awesome product. Super great. So the next item on my favorite pieces of gear list for 2021 would be this item right here, the Vont Spark headlamp. Yeah, I was honestly really pleasantly surprised by the Vont headlamp this year, and I ended up using it quite a bit. Now, when I did the initial review of the Vont, they sent me the first iteration, which was just took normal batteries. It wasn't rechargeable or anything. And I said, one of the biggest things I said to them was, you guys got to make a rechargeable version, and this will be just a bomber product, And so they did. They came out with a version 2, and this is it right here. This is fully rechargeable headlamp. And so you just pop it open like that. It's got a built-in battery and then a USB, I think it's USB-C, rechargeable. So fantastic headlamp. For the price point of these, I know there's a lot people out there in the community that are using there's a competitive brand from Nitecore that they use. And it is a little bit, the Nitecore is a little bit smaller as far as the headlamp part itself, but to me that is not that big of a deal. Weight is comparable, and I actually did the shock cord mod on this one here, so this is the one I take primarily with me, and so that shock cord mod takes off a little bit of the weight, and man, it just does great. Lasts a long time, doesn't take that terribly long to charge, so I can, you know, take a battery bank out with me in the backcountry and charge my phone, charge my camera, and charge my headlamp. That's just freaking awesome. I love it. I love it. For the price point, you know, you get a 2-pack of these for about the same price as, or even less than, one of those competing brands that are out there. So I think for the quality that you get for these at the price point they're at, they're absolutely a great buy. You know, you don't need, for me personally, I don't need that much light, even in the wintertime. You know, having the red light is all I really need to be able to see around in the dark. And then the different modes of white light is all I really need. That's all I need. And it works great. Really impressed with the Vont Spark headlamp rechargeable. So here comes to the point of the giveaway. So if you are interested in getting your hands on some of these Spark headlamps, I have 2 right here, brand new in box, never even been used, never been used at all. And I'd like to give these away. Vont gave me these to give away to folks, and so I want to give these away to one of you folks out there. So really all you have to do to win this 2-pack of Vont Spark headlamps, there's 2 things really that, well, 3. 3 things that you kind of have to do. One of them is you have to be a resident of the US or Canada. So I'm sorry to all my folks abroad. Just the shipping on these would be too much for me. So you got to be in the US or Canada to win these. Secondly, you have to be subbed to the channel. You have to be a subscriber to win these. So if you're not subscribed, you need to sub. And then the third thing I need from you guys is I want you to comment down below. I want you to let me know your favorite piece of gear or pieces of gear. 1 or 100, I don't even care. Tell me your favorite pieces of gear for 2021. I want to know what your favorite was and why. Tell me why it was your favorite piece of gear. So those are the things required to win this, and I will draw a winner for this on January 31st, let's say, January 31st. Okay, and the last item on my list, but certainly not least, is an item that I just got to take out very recently. I actually did another video on this item, and man, I think it's going to be one of my top items for 2022. I can almost guarantee it, and that is this right here, the Waymark Mile pack. Wow, man, this pack is awesome. That's all I can say. And I only got to use it once, like I said, at the end of 2021. But man, Waymark Mile, this pack is just killer. The craftsmanship is amazing. The specs are amazing. It's everything I wanted in a day pack. And an ultralight overnight. So I think it's going to be used a lot. I think I'm going to be taking this thing on lots of trips this year. I'm going to actually be taking it with me next weekend on a trip to the Hocking Hills again, where I took it the first time. But I'm going to be doing the Hocking Hills winter hike, and I'm going to be hopefully taking it out in some snow and some elements, and doing it about a 7, 8, 9 mile-ish total hike with the Waymark Mile. So I'm excited about that. Like I said, this pack is just everything I could have asked for. It's perfect for me. All right, everybody, those are my favorite pieces of gear for the year, last year, 2021. Be interesting to see what I fall in love with this year. I got to do a lot of hiking trips last year, so it was pretty cool to get to go out and do so much, and I'm looking forward to a lot more adventure this year, and I can't wait to bring you all along with me. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel, make sure you subscribe and like and all of that stuff. And as always, guys, take care. I'll talk to you real soon.